back to Geeky Ent, and on this video we're going to be talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles within video games. That's right. Now my favorite video game of all time to this very day is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4 Turtles in Time. That particular video game was an involvement and a sequel from the original arcade cabinet that was released back, I believe, in the early 90s. From there it went ahead and adapted onto console version for the Nintendo Entertainment System, also known as NES, and also there was a different variation for the Sega Genesis. But for me, I never owned a Sega Genesis when I was a kid. I owned a Super Nintendo, and I was given Turtles in Time. I forget what year it was, but ever since then it has become my favorite video game of all time. And it's relatively simple. All you do is go around and beat people up. More particularly, you beat up foot soldiers, Shredder, and different bosses such as Leatherhead, Slash, and other characters. But Neca Toys went ahead and took those series and created figures for them. Now, when I saw these, they were unavailable to me because some of them were New York Comic Con exclusives. Now, when I saw these initially at San Diego Comic Con, I didn't want to get them because, one, I was like, okay, I wasn't really collecting figures back then in 2016, and two, where was I going to put, the amount of, and two, where was I going to put them? But as I got more space throughout time, I went ahead and went back, and I went ahead and picked these up, and as you guys can see, they come in two boxes. So for the first one, you can see right here, it's got a 2016 San Diego Comic Con exclusive. So this was the first set, and when you open it up, it looks exactly like the arcade cabinet. Even Michelangelo's yellow was portrayed not in an orange fashion just because of the way that it came out during development. So they went ahead and gave Michelangelo a yellow color. But you can see here the amount of details looks like it was taken right out of that 8-bit video game. So you can see the amount of crazy detail within them. It looks like you're initially just playing the game. Like I said, the lines for the 8-bit, just the detail. Like, I'm just floored right now talking about it. And this, ironically, became the initial sculpt for future NECA models. So when I saw this, I'm like, okay, I had to have it. So when you close it up, it's pretty cool. I just noticed this the other day. When you turn it around, all the turtles are portrayed here on the back with a life, that they have a life. Now that's going to be foreshadowing for what I'm about to show you next. So in the same year, NECA released the Foot Pack, or I call it the Villains Pack. Again, same year, 2016 of San Diego Comic Con, and this was the partner bundle for the classic arcade. So you can see here again, same mock-up of the arcade cabinet. Again, Michelangelo with the yellow buttons, but this one here you have your 8-bit foot soldiers and your 8-bit Shredder. And even the detail in the back of the box is just amazing how NECA put in the amount of detail into their figure, even the box. So, like I mentioned in the earlier package here, all the turtles here have sad faces, which means they're pretty much dead. But the cool thing about the packaging, though, is that it has April O'Neil depicted as it was on the actual arcade cabinet. So, like my previous video with the NECA TMNT movies, it looked like it was a classic VHS tape. This one is a representation of the arcade cabinet. So NECA went ahead this year and released, like I mentioned, my favorite. So NECA went ahead and redid these figures for Turtles in Time. Now, they are the same figures, however, they are more detailed and more adapted for the console version. So what I mean by 8-bit versus 16-bit, it has to do with megapixels and how much you can fit onto a screen. So, like I showed you earlier, you have your foot soldier, but this time it's in the Turtles in Time package. And it looks exactly like how the video game box was released. They did release an arcade cabinet for Turtles in Time, and this was your header for that arcade cabinet, and just the amount of detail Neca puts in on there is just remarkable. So you can see here's Foot Soldier, and they all come with their sewer surfing skateboard. So Foot Soldier comes with a katana, a rifle, interchangeable hands, and a hoverboard with a display stand. So if you wanted to take these out of the box, you can go ahead and display them on their hoverboards. And like I said, it was on the level Sewer Surfing, where the boss on that level was the Rat King. Next up here we have Donatello. Now, like I mentioned, there are differences between the original San Diego Comic-Con figures and this one. Just the detail on them is more bold lines, a little bit more interchangeable parts compared to the actual exclusive. Again, interchangeable hands, bow staff, hoverboard with a display stand. Can't go wrong with that. Next up here, we have Leonardo. Again, same model sculpt, same everything, just this classic blue with the deeper, bold lines. They have what's called butterfly double joint articulation. So what I mean by double articulation is that on the knee joint, they put in 2 joints on their knees so you can bend it in 2 ways, and it's well hidden behind the knee pad. So that's just an action figure development if you wanted to go into that kind of business. Last but not least, for this wave was the marquee figure on this set. So Neca is releasing the Turtles in Time figures in waves, which means so Neca is releasing the figures in waves, which means they're not going to release everything at once. So Wave 1 only had 4 figures, and it was the 3 that I just showed you, plus the one I'm about to show you. And then Wave 2 is releasing in the next month or 2, and it's going to have another set of 4. It's going to complete the basic Turtles, and it has, don't quote me on this, I'm not too exactly sure which one it has. I know Leatherhead is coming out for their classic cartoon series, but this one here is Slash. Now, if you've played the game, this one boss was the most difficult to defeat, because you had to hit him on the back of the shell, and he was highly defensive. He jumped around the screen a lot, but you can see that it looks exactly like he was in the video game, even in his level of prehistoric Turtlesaurus. So here's a little close-up. As you can see, he comes with this crooked sword. He's got amazing detail on his belt. He's got spikes on his elbow, knees. He's got spikes on his knee pads. And he comes with the grenade too as well. So this was just a classic, brand new model that Neca went ahead and developed for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And this was a classic, brand new sculpt that Neca released for the TMNT Turtles in Time series. So that wraps up this video, guys. I wanted to go ahead and show you just a little bit of the video game TMNT side. If you guys like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. If you guys have anything else you'd like to see from our channel, go ahead and let us know. Until then, my friends, we'll see you soon, and don't forget to geek out.